Welcome back to your daily dose of sweat, self-love, and positivity. I'm Carlo Lande. I'm going to be your guide. And if this is your first time here, congratulations. You're exactly where you need to be. Taking that first step, getting started in your fitness journey, that's always the hardest. So everything else after this is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So again, if it's your first time here, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me, it helps the channel, as well as helps other people wanting to start their fitness journey find this video. So without further ado, let's get started with your morning leg workout to get those good endorphins going. So what we're gonna need is we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna need a chair, and that's it. But let's get started and get all warmed up. And just like water boiling, before it boils, it's gotta simmer, so we gotta heat up too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into a little bit of a warm up, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our floor sweeps. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang onto the chair. You're gonna put one foot in front of the other, and then we're gonna bend the back knee, pushing the bum back. As soon as we push that bum back and keeping this front leg straight, we should feel a good stretch in our hamstrings and the muscles in the back of our leg. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in and out of this movement, doing some dynamic stretches because we're preparing our body to go into some good movement. So we're gonna do a few of these, just get this hamstring all warmed up before we switch over to the other side, okay? So again, stretching out those hamstrings, getting ready, because we're gonna be cranking it out like no, never mind. So we're gonna go ahead and switch legs now. Again, front foot forward. We're gonna keep this front leg straight. We're gonna bend that back knee and push that hip back. As soon as we bring that hip and our bum back, just feel a really good stretch in the back of our leg here. Again, stretching out those hamstrings, your semitendinosus, your semimembranosus, and your biceps femoris, and all the muscles in the back of your leg right here, getting all mobilized, ready to rock and roll. So now that we've mobilized our hamstrings with the fun floor sweeps, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some hip openers now. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna hang onto our chair. And with the outside leg, we're gonna lift up and then we're gonna open up. Kind of doing a little bit of circles. So we're just doing circles with our hip, getting it all loosened up. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go back. So think 3 one way, 3 the other way. And then we'll switch the chair over like so and do the other side because we want to be mobilized on both sides, right? We want to be equal side mobilized, not just one side mobilized, right? And then boom, and then back. Some good movement through those hips. So before we start cranking it out, again, we're going to be going through our body movements through our legs, making sure that everything is all jacked up to start the day with some good endorphins. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start out with hip flexion. So we're going to keep the chair to the side and we're just going to hang on to it. And then we're going to face the chair and we're going to lift our leg up going to hip flexion. So we're going to crank out 10 of each of these repetitions, making sure that we're lifting the up as high as we can, making sure that we're getting into as much hip flexion, jacking up those muscles, because at some point you're probably going to have to go up some stairs, right? So let's get all strengthened up to be able to do that with ease. Awesome, so that's 10 reps. Let's go ahead and let's switch over to the other side. Lifting that leg up. Just gently tapping it on the ground as we're lifting up. Getting into as much hip flexion as we can. Feeling those muscles burn. Light up like a Christmas tree. And awesome. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our hip extension. So we're going to jack up the glutes, the bum in the back. We're going to make sure that we're going into hip extension. And when we're doing this, we want to make sure that we're not arcing the lumbar, causing extra tension on that lumbar spine. So we want to make sure that this is nice and neutral and supporting that natural lordotic curve. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang onto the chair right here. We're just going to keep this leg straight as we bring it back. So think leading with the heel, pushing that leg back just slightly while keeping the leg straight. If we're keeping the leg straight, we're not bending, we should feel that glute light up like no, never mind, because again, we're jacking up those glutes, and the main function of your glute max is hip extension, which is exactly what we're doing right here. And then, boom, awesome. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch the chair over here, we're gonna do the opposite side. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring that leg back, Again, keeping the leg as straight as possible. Swinging that leg back, jacking up those glutes like no never mind. Alright, so that's 6 reps. Those glutes should be lighting up. And boom. Awesome. After that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into abduction. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the legs as straight as possible. We're going to hang onto the chair. We're just going to lift that leg to the side. We should feel that side bone light up, like no never mind, because again, we're focusing on the main function of your glute med, which is abduction. So bringing the leg away from the body. Right there. Now we're going to do a spinneroonie, bring that chair over. We're going to hit the other side now. So from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to lift that leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're doing awesome. So really great job jacking up those glutes like no never mind, as well as getting into that hip flexion. All in all, doing absolutely phenomenal. What we're going to do next is we're going to go into knee flexion. Okay, so we're going to hang on to the chair. And then from here, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to bring our heel to our bum. So what we want to do when we're doing this, notice that my leg is not swinging forward. We're not coming forward like this. We're just going ahead and bringing the heel to the bum as much as we can. Again, jacking up those hamstrings now that we've mobilized them. We want to make sure that we're actually utilizing the function of those muscles and making sure that we're going into knee flexion. Get some really big contractions going here. And then, boom. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a spinneroonie. We're going to go ahead and hit the other side now. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Should be feeling some really good contractions in the back of the leg, jacking up those hamstrings. So next, we're going to do the fun part where we get to sit down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a seat, and we're going to focus on the front of our leg or the front of our thigh or our quadriceps. And we're going to do knee extension. So how we do that is we make sure that we're sitting up against the chair, back is right up against there. That way when we straighten our leg as much as we can feel those quads light up like no never mind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nice and burning. And 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's hit the other side. So we're going to go ahead, same thing, same rules apply, making sure back is against bench, straightening the leg out as much as we can, feeling a really good contraction through those quads every single time we straighten that leg out. Again, really good burning feelings, right? Awesome. So now that you've completed that circuit, hitting each of the muscles in our legs, now is the time to kind of rest, relax, replenish that energy, as well as it's a good time for reflection. So when we're resting, what I'd like to implement is being able to think about all the positive things that are going on in life. Because again, positive thinking is like a muscle. The more we do it, the more strong it's going to be, and the easier it is to be able to think about positivity. So when you're reflecting, you can think about anything as small as, say, having a nice cup of coffee or having the darn your best coffee that you've ever had in your life and how lucky it is to be able to have that. Or even if somebody held the door open for you, how that made your day. All positivity happens all the time, so millions of positive things always happen. You just gotta think about all the small things too. So now that we've had that chance to kind of rest and relax and replenish that energy, we're gonna hit it for one more circuit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right back to the beginning, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into hip flexion. So we're gonna hang on to the chair again, almost like we're marching in a squat. We're gonna start lifting up that leg. We're gonna lift up that leg as much as we can, getting into as much hip flexion. Bring that leg out like that. other side now. So we're hanging on to here, lifting up. And remember, if your muscles are all burning already, that's a-okay. Because remember, muscles are 79-80% water. Boiling water turns to steam, and steam powers locomotives, right? So choo-choo, next stop is Victory and Triumph. We got a couple more reps on here. Boom. Awesome. So we've done hip flexion. We're going to go into hip extension, or the opposite movement now. So we're going to keep this leg straight, hanging onto the chair. Remember, we don't want to arc our lumbar when we're doing this movement. We want to make sure that we're keeping the leg straight, just getting that glute lit up. And a lot of people don't know, but your bum is divided into 3 parts, right? We got our glute max, which is the biggest, meatiest portion of our bum. And its main function is hip extension. We also have our glute med and our glute min as well. So they all make our glutes. Boom. So that's 10 right there, and let's go ahead and let's hit the other side, okay? So from here, we're gonna keep that leg straight. Again, we don't want to arc our lumbar spine. We want to make sure that we're maintaining that natural ergonomic curve as we lift the leg up. Getting that really good contraction in the glutes, because what we're doing is we're utilizing the main function of our glute max, which is hip extension. Now that we've jacked up the glute max, we're going to go hit glute med, main function, abduction, so bring the leg away from the body. So we're going to hang on to here, just going to lift that leg up. Nice and burny. Awesome. Let's do a spin-a-rooney with that chair now. Hit the other side, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All those good endorphins. Look at you crushing it like no one ever mind, eh? So from here, we're gonna go into knee flexion now. Jack up those hamstrings. We're gonna hang on to the chair here. We're just gonna bring our heel to our bum. Nice burning feeling. Nice great contractions through the hamstrings there. Again, their main function is knee flexion, being able to bend the knee and bring it up like this, right? Awesome. So that's 10 reps right there. Let's do a spin-a-rooney with the chair again, so you can see the left side here. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Again, remember, we want to make sure that the leg is pretty much straight underneath us. We don't want to have that knee coming forward when we're just going into knee flexion. So just making sure that we're bending the knee, bringing that heel to the bum. Ooh, great contractions. Boom, awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into knee extension. So, the fun part where we get to take a seat. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a seat here, pushing it back up against the chair. We're going to be sitting upright, and all we're going to do is we're going to straighten out one of these legs. Boom. Holy Toledo. Getting really good contractions through those quads. Again, their main function is knee extension. They're straightening out the leg. Quadriceps core muscles, hence the name quadricep. You got your rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, intermedius, and vastus medialis. They all work with extending the knee. Really good contractions through these quads. And that's it. Congratulations. You just cranked out your morning workout, getting the legs all ready and mobilized and all jacked up so you can conquer the day with your active living. What we're going to do next though is we're just going to do a little bit of a cool down and stretch out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stretch out those hamstrings again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to straighten out one leg, and we're just going to try to reach for our toe while keeping our chest up. It's okay if you can't touch your toe, just go as far as you can. Again, when we're stretching, we only want to feel slight discomfort and no pain as we're doing the movement. Nice, good stretches. And then you because we're cooling down, again, is a great time for reflection. And again, if you have not already hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that for more daily content, as well as it does help me, as well as helping the channel, and help other people find this video to help them get started on their fitness journey. And boom, awesome. Good stretch on those hamstrings there. Let's go ahead and stretch out those quads now. We're gonna have to stand up here. We're gonna keep those the chair right in front of us. We're gonna try to reach for our leg. And we're gonna grab the ankle and get a really good stretch. So remember, time to reflect on all those positive things, all the good things that are happening, because millions and millions of positive things happen to us every day. It's just a matter of thinking about what's the most positive, right? I'm looking forward to being able to hear what your positive thoughts are. So if you want to go ahead and comment down below what your positivity and what you've been thinking about, that way we can keep this log going on all the positive things that are happening in the world, right? Awesome. So nice little quick workout, being able to strengthen those legs. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to join me during this exercise, and as well thank yourself for taking that step to start crushing it. So again, Carlo Lalonde, I'm your guide. Look forward to seeing more videos in the future to help strengthen you and get you ready for active living.